Good morning, everyone. It's Kaibon the Renegade. I'm back here with more Elden Ring, but I can only level up through co-op. And last time we weren't really getting summoned, so I went around and started opening up summon signs. And that's what we're going to do a bit more of today. Last time we were talking about Dragon Ball GT and how it kind of fucked up a lot of shit by just flanderizing Goku. You know what's funny? People talk about Goku getting flanderized in Dragon Ball Super constantly, and they did flanderize him in that a little bit. I will not disagree. But in GT, Goku is not Goku. He's fucking Superman. And it's so odd to me. Like, everything Goku is about in GT is saving people and fucking being a righteous hero and stuff like that. But that's not who Goku is. That's not who he's ever really been. He doesn't fight to save people unless that's, you know, unless they're in immediate danger, usually. Like, he fought to stop Frieza because he literally wiped out all the Namekians, and at that point he was basically fighting for revenge. But at the same time, the heroism comes from, well, I'm not gonna let you do this to a whole bunch of other people, basically. That's where the idea of the heroism is. And fucking, I find it so interesting. Isn't there something? Yeah, here it is. I find it so interesting that people are so quick to bring up that Goku's flanderized in Super, but will not admit that he's flanderized at all in GT. And he is. He's very flanderized in GT. Honestly, he's basically a caricature of Goku, which is startling to me that there are so many people who look at that and go, yep, that's Goku, when we've got this. Like, the thing of it is, to me, there are like 4 levels of Goku, right? There is an actual somewhat heroic aspect to him that is nice, but usually there's selfish motive behind that somewhat heroic aspect. And let's see. So that's like the first level of Goku. The next level would just be someone who enjoys time with family and friends and is also interested in getting a really good fight. And as someone who plays Elden Ring constantly and enjoys games like Dragon Ball Xenoverse and stuff like that, I actually get it. I personally really dig a good fight. That was a pretty good fight right there. I don't think I took a hit. So for me, that felt really good. It feels like affirmation of my skills, you know. I've worked hard to become good at this game, and now I'm actually good at it. Where is the summon sign here? Here it is. There we go. I think next we're gonna go up to Ray Lucaria and activate that one. Although maybe we should do the Carrion Mana. Yeah, I think we'll do the Carrion Mana first. But yeah, Goku has like 4 levels. He's got the actual hero that people know and love, where he steps up and will fight as hard as he possibly can to protect other people. He's got he's got the carefree, fun-loving guy who's not usually stressed about basically anything. Then he's got the martial artist who strives for hunger, or who has hunger and strives for improvement. And then last, Goku's got martial artist. I'm sorry, I keep losing my train of thought because I get thinking about something else for a second. I was thinking about Sword Dance right here, and how it was just used to basically, I don't remember if they won. Oh no, that's right, I didn't get to see the end of the final match. There was this Elden Ring tournament held in the EU that was pretty cool, and one of the top competitors was using dual straight swords with sword dance. Right, so Goku's competitive, he's easygoing, he's heroic, and what's the last one again? Ah, shoot. I used to have it from my my research for that video I never made of Goku's character arc. Goku's main supporting traits. Fucker! Well, I guess I might as well pull this, but where's the summon sign in here? Oh, here it is. Nice. Because we can't actually do this dungeon until we help a host complete it. We might as well sit where we wasted a couple heals. Shoot, I can't think of the last main aspect of Goku. Oh, now I fucking remember. It's his eagerness. He's always... Goku gets excited when it comes to combat because there's not just the hunger for improvement, there's also the hunger for satisfaction in combat. And I actually very much feel and understand that. So his eagerness is one of his biggest downfalls. So, like, in Dragon Ball Super Hero, one of the things that people bring up that is flanderized about Goku is that he forgot that you can train more than just your body. You can train your mind, right? So meditation is a form of mental training. It's gaining discipline through your mentality. It's finding peace through thought and relaxation. It's there's so many positive benefits to meditation that it doesn't make any sense for someone like Goku, who we suppose to be a master martial artist, especially like one of the things people bring up all the time is in the Cell games, Goku really does feel like he's got it all figured out. Like, he truly is an actual master of martial arts at that point. He's mastered literally everything the heavens have to teach him about martial arts, right? Rude. Man, I can't even. So it just doesn't make sense for someone as seasoned as Goku to not understand the very, very simple concept of meditation. Meditation isn't something I do to train on any kind of regular basis, but I'm already a very thought-heavy person. Mastering my mentality isn't something I need to do as much as mastering my instinct, right? Oh, fucker. Because if I can retrain my instinct to have the correct and positive moves, then at that point, mastering my mentality is something that is important still, but will have less importance over time because my mentality is already pretty good. I already have the warrior's mindset of understanding my objective and sticking to it, or switching from it, or adapting, or doing whatever, like analyzing and using critical thinking and stuff in fights is already where I'm pretty solid. What the fuck? I cannot hit this guy. Quick go. Yeah, I'm already pretty good at that stuff. You might notice that occasionally if something ever really trips me up, I might freeze up a little bit because I'm not actually freezing. Like, I don't have that instinct. My instinct is to fight. The reason I freeze up is because I've learned to analyze. I've learned that sizing up my opponents is often more valuable than simply rushing in and trying to get a quick edge through surprise or something like that. Like, can surprise be valuable to me? Absolutely. But where I'm an analytical fighter, that's not nearly so... It's just not nearly as important for me unless I see opportunities and don't take them. And normally when I see those opportunities, I do take them. So, for me, meditation isn't something I would really go for in my training. What I struggle the most with is a combination of training myself for the proper instinct and training myself on fundamentals. So you guys know how Nick and I hang out like every week and we play Smash and stuff like that. Well, Nick has fucking excellent fundamentals. Like, I taught him a lot about Smash right in the start, but he has learned so much more than I know about it because his fundamentals are there. They're not just solid, they're stone. Like, Nick does not struggle with his fundamentals at all, while I struggle with them occasionally. That man can neutral air or forward air all day. He will just keep coming at you with it. And he can just keep going again and again and again. Meanwhile, for me, if I'm going to forward air, I'm probably going to do it once, maybe twice in a row. While he'll do it 3 or 4 times in a row because he understands that he can catch me just standing there while doing it, or if I jump in the air, he'll probably catch me that way too. It's a good neutral engagement for him. And he understands that. He's learned it through his practice online and his attempted mastery of fundamental. There have been so few times when we were fighting and playing Smash where we were like, you know what, I should get off that. That's a tangent that doesn't hurt me. Anyway, my point was that Goku is someone who should have those fundamentals so down-packed that he shouldn't need someone to explain to him how helpful meditation can be, because he's literally already had someone explain that to him. And the person he had to explain it was Mr. Popo. Mr. Popo sat him down and taught him what meditation was, and taught him that a lot of Goku's weakness was in his mental state. It was in his ability to perceive what his enemy was doing. It was in his lack of discipline when it comes to combat in general, but also his mind when it comes to combat. Because the thing about fighting is you do need to have your brain running constantly and thinking about what your opponent's doing, what your opponent can do, what you can do, what there's just so many factors to pay attention to when you're in a fighting game, right? And those things generally all apply to real combat. Sizing up your opponent is something Goku's generally pretty excellent at. and has been excellent at since the start of original Dragon Ball, more often than not. He was very, very good at figuring out what his opponent was doing, and that's where he gets his copycatting ability from. His first Kamehameha wave ever was copying Master Roshi after Roshi put out the... oh fuck. After Master Roshi, quote-unquote, put out the fire of Fire Mountain. And, he just saw it, analyzed it, and copied it. Done and done. That's all Goku had to do, was see it one time to be able to learn it. Meanwhile, it took Master Roshi supposedly like 50 years or 300 years or something extreme like that to be able to learn to do the Kamehameha wave. Mind you, he developed the technique. He didn't copy someone else. Unless the Dodon Ray came first and he was like, well, that's pretty cool, I'm gonna make something a little better. But I'd wager the Dodon Ray is actually derivative of the Kamehameha wave. Because the Kamehameha wave and the Dodon Ray functionally are almost the exact same thing, but one requires significantly less ki, and presumably, because of that, significantly less training to master. Right? So, it's just weird that Goku wouldn't know what meditation is. Or it's just odd that he would tell Vegeta, well, you're not going to get any stronger trying to do that. Meanwhile, Vegeta was easily smart enough to know, hey, you realize that Jiren wasn't actually that much stronger than us, right? He was actually pretty close to our level, but his mental state is what defeated us. That's how he got the edge on us so hard, was he mentally had more fortitude than we did. He wasn't distracted. He didn't have... like, the only time Jiren wasn't doing well in that fight is when Frieza and 17 were getting to him. That's the only time he wasn't doing really, really well in the Tournament of Power. And Vegeta's exactly right. And I kind of understand that they needed Goku to have that, that conversation with Vegeta so Vegeta could point that out. But at the same time, it feels very flanderized and very lazy. Goku is someone who should absolutely know that meditation is powerful. We used to have people who meditated all the time in Dragon Ball. Jiren literally meditated through like half the Tournament of Power. Piccolo used to meditate basically constantly. And he was one of the strongest there was. And Deborah meditated and honed his power, and he was able to take on what may have been Super Saiyan 2 Gohan basically without a struggle. Like, these are things Goku should absolutely know as a supposed master of martial arts, you know? Because that feels like it's a very basic thing, is meditation, and understanding how your mental state affects your combat. Goku arguably used to play mind games with his opponents. This was the most true when he was a little kid. Like, he doesn't really like using deception in combat, despite deception being one of the key tenets of combat. Yeah, Sun Tzu, you know, the writer of The Art of War, said that deception is basically everything in combat, and he's kind of right. Being able to trick and or deceive your opponent is so beyond valuable when it comes to in general, because sizing up your opponent and learning what they can do and what they might do is so valuable, right? So they've sized you up, they think they know what you can do, and now you've deceived them. Haha. Ah, fuck. That wasn't even a trade. Ah, rude, Lorena. It's because my mind is elsewhere. But you see, that's exactly what I'm talking about right now. I'm not focused on this fight, I'm thinking about something else. If I were to regain my focus, this fight would be a cakewalk. Oh, fuck. I didn't expect a backswing there. You know what? I'm gonna pay more attention to this. He says before almost immediately dying to Loretta's slash. Bullshit. Nice. No. See, I just recognized the weakness in my mentality. I have no heals left. I recognized the weakness in my mentality. I focused on it. I fixed it. And then the fight went better for me. That literally couldn't have been a more perfect example of what I was talking about right there. Because that's exactly what I was talking about, is trying to... is when you focus on combat, or when you're not focused on combat and you're in it, you are at such an extreme detriment to your own victory, because focus is basically everything when it comes to combat. It's three things. It's focus, knowledge, and instinct. If you get those three, then you're fucking golden. And training can supplement instinct. You don't necessarily need the proper instinct if you've trained yourself to replace your instinct. So, for an example, you can train yourself to roll catch, right? So, like, I trained myself to, instead of doing running R1s with a scythe, to generally always do running R2s, because those are significantly better at roll catching opponents. Oh shit, we're at 9:30 right now, and it's time to end the episode, and I haven't done any co-op. But I'm trying to open all the things. It's okay, this is probably going to be a little clip showy. To be fair though, I have basically just been sitting here ranting about Dragon Ball to you guys, and how Goku is flanderized in both Super and GT. But to get back to that point, right, I understand where people are coming from in their conversation when they say that Goku's been flanderized in GT. I do. Or in Super, I do. I really understand it. But if you understand that Goku's been flanderized in Super to make him a little bit dumber, then I hope you understand where I'm coming from when I say that Goku's been flanderized in GT to make him more heroic. Because he basically just straight up plays the Superman role that he more or less filled. Like, the reason Goku only ever filled that role is because he was the guy who was there who could do it. You know? He never wanted to be Jiren the Grey. He didn't want to be some dude who was the best on their team and stopped the villains from doing the evil. He just wants to be a guy who gets to have good, fun fights. And I get that. I really, really get that. I resonate with that personally very strongly. If invasions, quote-unquote, were a thing in Goku's world, and Goku got the most fun fights out of them, genuinely, I think that's what Goku would be doing. And we know for a fact that Goku's mentality changed and he became a decent-hearted person because he hit his head when he was a baby on Earth. And then Grandpa Gohan retrained him to be a better person. He taught him kindness and compassion and decency. And that's awesome because it's nature versus nurture. And nurture is what most people agree should win most of the time. Basically, the only people who don't agree that nature or nurture should win are eugenicists, and eugenicists are usually assholes who don't know the first fucking thing about people because they keep themselves locked in some place all the time, or they're constantly in an echo chamber. There was this really interesting experiment that I don't remember if he was like an actual scientist or if he was like a teacher. I think he was a teacher or something like that. There was this interesting experiment where this teacher took an entire classroom of students and basically he didn't like quote unquote teach them to be Nazis. He taught them about Nazi loyalty through example, by basically making some people haves and some people have-nots of who gets to be quote-unquote like the in crowd, right? More or less, what he did was he found a way to pit these students against each other and have a form of like secret police amongst themselves, right? So, I don't remember the exact details of it now. It was a long time ago I read about this. But this teacher got these students to police themselves on certain rules. And some of the students were effectively supposed to be basically Nazi stand-ins. Maybe that's wrong. I think it was actually that the idea was that anyone... Oh, I remember now. They weren't Nazi stand-ins. They were quote-unquote secret police, right? Now I understand. Now I remember. So he got these students to be secret police. Eventually, everyone in the class figured out who they were. And, these secret police were students who were supposed to be basically giving discipline to other students, not like literally giving it to them, like they would be basically reporting them to the teacher. And I think it was like half the students were secret police and half weren't, right? Or it was probably less than that, actually. I think it was closer to like a third of the students were secret police or something. But anyway, so we get these students, they're secret police, and the idea of it was that they were supposed to secretly deal with other students not handling the rules on their own without obviously reaching into violence or coercion or anything like that. I keep losing my train of thought on this. Right, so the students ended up becoming kind of afraid of the secret police. Like, I feel like there might have been some kind of actual incentive or disincentive for students to behave and or not misbehave. not disincentive, punishment. But I believe it was very mild. It was intended to be more or less just a thought experiment. And so eventually, everyone in this class basically just straight up starts falling in line, because if they didn't, then they were going to get in trouble with the secret police, which would get them in trouble with the teacher. And I think there were like 5 or 10 students, just a really small percent, that were basically supposed to play the parts of rebels and try and get the other students to disobey the secret police. And eventually they were ousted from the classroom and completely left, on their own. And that experiment was meant to show the students how easy it is to fall into a mentality of authoritarianism and Nazi behavior. Because that's really where authoritarianism is people who are quietly forcing other people to quote-unquote obey the rules, whatever those rules may be. Fuck, where was I going with this? Oh no, now I've lost my train of thought on the important part. I remembered the example. The goal was to try and teach students about the Nazi mentality and how simple it is to fall into. Wow. I don't remember how that relates back to what I was saying. Maybe it had something to do with mentalities. It did, actually. It had something to do with mentalities, because, there's a mentality for a warrior's mindset, and how you need to take advantage of opportunities. You need to... Right, I actually do remember now. Okay, so, if invasions were a thing in Goku's world, where you can, quote-unquote, invade someone else's world and get a good fight from them, that is what Goku would be doing. And Goku, where he is a morally gray character and could really go either direction, depending on what circumstance you put him in. Especially with the beginning of the Tournament of Power, I thought they were really, really showcasing that well, that Goku is a morally gray character. Oh, I didn't get my butt. By having someone like Toppo and Jiren, and these characters that are clearly not morally gray. These are actual good guys going, yeah, no, you're basically fucking every universe right now. You're kind of an asshole. What the fuck, dude? Oh, fuck. I did not roll fast enough. Oh, fuck. Yeah. I don't remember how it links back to the Nazi thing. I think I was basically going to say that your mentality means so much more than people take it, or than people give it credit for. Because what you're actually doing and what you set out to do are two different things entirely. Or they can be, anyway. Because, oh, I do remember now. So, Goku is this morally gray character, right? That means, ideally, he could, in theory, eventually be put in the spot of an antagonist. And Goku would kind of make the perfect antagonist, because he's someone who always rises to the occasion. Alright, cool, we've opened this place. Oh yeah, there's one more place I want to open. He's someone who always rises to the occasion, right? He's someone who, no matter what you put in front of him, Goku will at least try to fight it. if he finds that a tenable solution anyway. And by tenable, I mean reachable. An actual achievable solution is defeat through combat. But Goku doesn't always seek that. He has, on occasion, at least in original Dragon Ball, sought other solutions, which is something that I wish he would do more of. Oh no, don't lose your train of thought again. Right, Goku could be an evil character if put in the right circumstance. And I think that's really interesting, because when we're talking about your mindset when it comes to combat, really there's only two things you care about, and it's survival and stopping your opponent from stopping your survival. Whether that means killing your opponent, or making them submit to you, or making them give up and leave, or whatever it is. In combat, you generally only have a few solutions, right? And that's why a warrior's mentality is a necessary thing when we're talking about someone literally going into combat. Like, I used to do this a lot more in Dark Souls 3. I haven't really done it much at all in Elden Ring. But it used to be that sometimes you would defeat the phantoms of a host, and they would just give up because they realized, well, shit, he just beat two dudes who were definitely stronger than me, so how am I gonna beat him? You know? And I understand that. It does make sense. But at the same time, that's not a good mentality for self-improvement, which is kind of what these games are, right? Goku is kind of the poster boy of self-improvement. And, that's where this conversation kind of circles around, and why it actually matters what I was talking about. Shit. Right. So, in Dark Souls 3, I used to, if I would defeat the phantoms and give up, I would give him embers, which were an item that let you play online. They were basically fertile calling finger remedies, but you can't give those to players, which is fucking stupid. And I would give them those, and I would leave. Because my opponent knew I had beaten them. They knew that there was nothing they were gonna do that would let them defeat me. Like, sure, maybe they could pull something out of their ass, but that would be at best and very hopeful, you know, in those situations. Alright, now let's wipe our souls first, and then we'll get into the summoning. So if you find that you've beaten an opponent so completely that they've given up, what you've done isn't just defeat them, you've defeated their mentality, you know? And that, to me, is so much bigger than just defeating your opponent. And it's a lot more satisfying, interestingly. Ooh, Ray Lucaria. Alright, I was kind of hoping we might get summoned here. Hello, sir. Hello.
Hey!
Where are we going? I'm just gonna give him a little bit of some following here. See what we're up to. I locked onto the wrong guy somehow. I need to manage my stamina better. Oh, he's already unlocked this. Nice. Good for you, homie. Good for you. Have you beaten Moongrum is the real question. Is he here? Oh, he's not here. You have beaten Moongrum. Okay, cool. pull your elevator down. But yeah, defeating your opponent's mentality is so much huger than just defeating them. Because fucking, if you can make your opponent give up, then you've beaten them without actually having to beat them. And to me, at least, I find that infinitely more satisfying than just defeating them straight up one-on-one. Like, both things are satisfying, yes, for sure. But at the same time, fucking, I know which is the more satisfying. At least for me. Some people are very dissatisfied, actually, when their host just gives up. I've found the whole jumping off a cliff thing very distasteful, especially of late. And that's basically exactly the same thing. We do take those and count them as victories, you know, because they are. Your opponent has given up. They've realized they're not going to defeat you. It's exactly the same thing as them just standing there and not fighting anymore. The only difference is now they've thrown themselves off a cliff, and now you don't get the satisfaction of standing there going, oh, well, I beat them. How? Did he get it? Oh, he got it. Nice. There we go. Gave him a good little buff. I guess the reason I find it so dissatisfying to, to defeat, my opponent and have them fucking jump off a cliff is because it's not just that they've given up. Is that they haven't given me the opportunity to actually enjoy myself. Like, more often than not, you'll find players do that so fucking early upon you just arriving now. And it's like, I get it, if you think you can't win, why fight, in a way. But at the same time, why play online at all if you think you can't win, you know? GG, sir. GG. Hey. You did a good job. Even if you have some lag. I'll give you a bow too. That's what's funny to me about people being like, you need rune arcs that badly? You gotta invade? Bro, I can get rune arcs from fighting bosses with hosts. I don't know why you think that's what I'm here for. But yeah, it just feels... It feels bad, man. Like, the Coop made a really interesting video a couple weeks back about how the opt-in invasions really, really hurts the PvP community. Like, Lords of the Fallen just dropped on Friday. It's Monday right now. People aren't playing Elden Ring nearly so much as they were a month ago before Lies of P dropped. Because right now, there are Elden Ring players playing Lies of P, playing Lords of the Fallen, getting ready for Mario and Sonic. There's so much going on right now. It's just kind of... It feels like an odd take to be playing co-op, and then, oh, I get an invader, so I'm going to throw myself off a cliff. Like, it just feels like you're trying to make the experience bad for both your summon and yourself and the invader all at the same time. Oh, he's got the Commander Standard. Interesting. Oh, there's a high-level Phantom. He doesn't just have the Commander Standard, he has the Veteran's Prosthesis. Ah, fuckers. Knocked me off the fucking stairs. There we go. Sorry, boys. This man and I are trying to occupy the same space right now. Have we beaten Moongrum, boys? We have, okay. Twice now. That's twice we've gotten players who already had everything unlocked and just need help with Renala, apparently. I think I just wiped his buff off for Golden Bow. Whoops. That's kind of unfortunate. Because his buff is actually definitely better than mine. Golden Bow's not bad, but the Commander Standard buff is kinda huge. Why not? We almost had it too. Oh my god, I killed her while she was in midair. Oh no, I didn't. Would have been funny though. Ah. Huh. Yeah, it's not doing damage. Would have been funny. Ah, I walked into fire. Oh, they broke one. Here's the next one. Oh, I think that might have been the last. Yep. That's so weird that she's not spawning in. It makes me feel like my host must be on PS4 or something. Nice. Sorry guys, I totally messed that up for you too. We did it, boys. We did it. GG. Alright guys, I know that was only 2, but I'm gonna get to the next episode here, so thanks everybody so much for watching. I've been Kaibon the Renegade. If you like this video, please subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Hope you have a great day. Bye-bye. If you want to support me with more than just a subscription on YouTube, then you can support me by reading or watching one of the audiobooks of my book series on my YouTube channel, or by purchasing one on Amazon. It's called Godly, about demigods in ancient Greece, in a world where all pantheons of gods coexist. And I like to describe it as a combination of Dragon Ball, Harry Potter, and Avatar The Last Airbender, all in a mythology-based world. So please check it out. Thanks very much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.